I remember how sick I got when watching news about 4 years ago. That was the time when the elections in US, Donald Trump became a president. And I was watching too much news at the time. I was unemployed, not much to do. And I was watching a lot of news. And this is how sick I got by watching too much news. I recently became a father, about a year before that. And before I became a father, I really wanted, I couldn't wait to be a father. I couldn't really wait to be a father. I remember coming back from work, so tired, finding my wife in the sofa, crying her eyes out that we couldn't have kids, And actually, I was more sad than she was, but as a man, you're supposed to be tougher. And I tried to comfort her, telling her that everything's going to be all right. A long story short, thanks God, we have a daughter. And the problem with that, watching the news, is that I had almost a 1-year-old daughter, and they were talking about the Third World War. They were talking about the Third World War, and I was shitting myself, to be honest. Why? Because I thought, okay, fuck it, my life, but what am I going to do with my daughter? Where am I going to leave her? What's going to happen to her? And I was getting really sad. So I kept watching this news, this bloody propaganda. At the time, that was the situation with North Korea, Russia, and this nuclear weapon with Iran and US, this fucking deal they made. And I kept hearing a lot of news about this Third World War. So, as I was watching this kind of news, one day, for some reason, the uncle of my wife called. The uncle of my wife called me, actually miscalled me. So I called him back and I said, hey, how you doing? What's happening? What's new? And he said, oh, I'm sorry, by mistake I miscalled you. Well, I said, okay, no, it's okay, but now that I'm talking to you, I need some advice. So I asked him. He's a top veterinarian in Kosovo. So I asked him, I really have a skin problem. I explained how badly I had this rash in skin that looked like you pinched my skin with needles, and my hands, my fingers, I was becoming these little watery spotty dots, and once they burst, the skin will get so dry and then crack up, and you can literally see the flesh. So I told him about my health situation. And the first question he asked me was, are you watching news? And I was like, to show off a little bit, hell yeah. All the news in the world, what's going on, I know about it. And then he made a little laugh, I can't really describe that, but hey. And he asked me again, do you know how many thoughts circulate in 12 hours time in our mind? I was like, no. He said 75 to 80,000 thoughts we have in a day. So, can you imagine what's going on in your head? He said, because of the stress and the fear of this Third World War, you have made yourself sick. So I suggest to you, he said, there where you live in Switzerland, they have beautiful places to walk. So start walking, he said. Up to 10 miles, he said, start walking. Start walking around the nature. And The other thing was that he said, you have to stop watching news because you're gonna get yourself sick and nobody can cure you. Because the pharmaceutical industry, they don't know how to cure you, so they're just gonna make it worse. So pay attention of the fucking news you're watching, otherwise you're gonna get yourself really sick and no one can cure you. So from that day on, I never watched any news. I mean, here and there, sure, but since then, really, I don't watch any news. Why? Because this is the problem with us as humans. When we are not concentrated in things that we want, then we leave too much time. If we leave too much time for stupid shit like news. So if you don't program your mind, if you don't program your life the way you want it to, then hey, someone else is going to do the thinking for you. Okay? So I thought I'd share this message with you beautiful people, that I can empower you with knowledge. And you don't let anybody, anyone or anything tell you how to think, what to believe, or whatever else. Just be the captain of your ship. You have a choice. And the choice is yours.